So, very good afternoon to one and all the participants. Resource person for this afternoon session, Dr. Mandar Bhanushe, Head Faculty of Science and Technology at Center of Distance and Online Education, University of Mumbai, has joined our cloud meeting. So, on behalf of this UGC Malviya Mission Teachers Training Center, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Marathwada University, Chhatrapati Sambhaji Nagar, I welcome him to this online NEP orientation and sensitization course. Our resource person is also member of Pratap Center for Philosophy, North Maharashtra University, member of IKS subcommittee formed under NEP 2020 Steering Committee of Maharashtra State. He is invited member of Board of Studies in Mathematics of University of Mumbai, founder, chairman of Raising a Mathematician Foundation, RAM Foundation, India, an NGO working in the field of maths education, former member of International Council of Open and Distance Education, Norway, and former member of Students' Grievance Redressal Committee of University of Mumbai. He has been conducting workshop for teachers, students on free open source software like GeoGebra and LaTeX, content and learning management system like Moodle, the CNN.com, the virtual learning environment like Viz, IQ, AView, educational mobile apps, spoken tutorials, OER, Wiki Educator, e-content development. He has trained more than 17,000 teachers on various e-learning tools and technologies through workshops and online webinar. He has delivered 99 talks on NEP 2020, National Curriculum Framework, National Credit Framework, and Bharatiya Knowledge Tradition use of ICT at various universities and colleges through MMTT programs of their HRDCs. He regularly conducts workshops through RAM Foundation for students, teachers, parents in the field of education, also for NET/SET, UPSC, MPSC examination. He is a public speaker on various topics like role of youth in nation reconstruction, science and technology in ancient Bharat, career counseling. He is the receiver of a National Award for Best Education Web Series at Indian Education Congress way back in the year 2013, held in uh, May 2013 in New Delhi. He is also the receiver of National Talent Search Award 2017 and 18 awarded by Indian Accounting Association Thane chapter. On 5th September 2022, the University of Mumbai has felicitated him with special award in recognition of training more than 16,000 teachers he did in the area of e-learning during the COVID pandemic. He has published 6 articles and present 10 papers in various international and national conferences, authored 4 books in mathematics for BCom, accounting and finance, and BMS and BSc IT courses. He has worked as a resource person with IIT Bombay and project of Maharashtra State to train 8,000 high school mathematics teachers under Rashtriya Madhyamik Shikshan Abhiyan. He has successfully conducted online 4 credit courses on UGC SWAM in the subjects of mathematics for June 2019 session with enrollment of more than 2,000 students from 11 states of India, and for second cycle of January 2020 there were 1,300 enrollment. He is also the SWAM mentor of University of Mumbai. Currently, he is initiated a career excellence in e-content development in the University of Mumbai and is the coordinator of the center. So indeed, it is really an honor and pleasure for such a learned person in the field of e-content development here to deliver a talk on ICT and NEP 2020. So I will now hand over the session to our resource person, Dr. Mandar, sir.
Thank you very much for the kind introduction. Very good afternoon to all of you. Hope I am audible to all of you, and there is no technical issue. Yes, can I get some messages saying that yes, you are able to listen to me clearly? Or
Participant, you can also open the cameras, please, for a better view. Participant, those who are comfortable can open the cameras also.
that would be good.
Those who are comfortable, they can open it.
Okay. Yes, some of the faces can be seen, but it's okay. It's an online program, and at least you can give your consent that you are able to get the audio correctly. And also, I'm going to share my screen now, so you'll be able to see the screen also. Just give me a second. With me in this session also has joined my colleague from the Center for Excellence in E-Content Development, Professor Ms. Pankti Surve. Pankti, if you can just on your video for a few seconds, they will be able to see you. Yes. So Pankti has joined this session with me, and we both will be doing the first and the second session jointly.
Yes,
So
Pankti ma'am, we welcome you on behalf of Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar Marathwada University, ma'am.
thank you, sir.
It's an
So
honor. It's an honor for us.
yes, Pankti Madam is working as an assistant professor in sociology in the Center for Distance and Online Education, Mumbai University. And additionally, she is also looking after the studio. As you can see right now, she is inside the studio. So she is working as an instructional designer in the studio, which is called as the Center for Excellence in E-Content Development. And she is assisting all of us in creation of learner-centric four-quadrant e-content. And on this topic, really, she is going to talk to you in the second half. Pankti, welcome and thank you for joining. Friends, in the chat, I am going to share to all of you a link. Okay, and that is a link through which the presentation for the first session you can access. So all of you are requested to please go to the link and which is given in the chat and click on it. There will be no screen sharing from this side, from the Zoom application. So the entire presentation you can see from the link which I've shared in the chat. And the screen, not only the presentation will be seen on your end. In addition to that, there will be a lot of interactions in between. So you can participate in this two-way communication mode, which has been created specifically for this session. And I can see 3 of the participants have joined right now. Out of almost we have 30 plus people here. So I expect more people to join as early as possible. So I once again request all the participants to please look into the chat and kindly stop sending messages in the chat so that those who have joined late will get the link which I'm sharing once again in the chat. Once we get at least 50% people on the board, I'll start the presentation, and you did not come on the Zoom link unless I invite you back. So if you have joined through a laptop or a desktop, it would be better way to view the presentation. But even if you have joined using a mobile phone, you can just click on the link and it will open on a browser and you can access the entire presentation slides through the application link itself. What I've used is an ICT tool itself. As you know that this both these sessions are on use of information and communication technology in general, and specifically technology for education in particular is what we are going to discuss in the 2 sessions. So I thought let us use technology itself as a tool to conduct this particular presentation. So I have the statistics of how many? 7 of you have joined by now. And I said there are 30 plus people here. So 23 people are yet to join. And if you are facing any difficulty, please put a message in the chat and let us know, or you can put your audio and let us know if you are not able to access the link which I have shared. Ideally, there should be no issue because it's very simple. You have to just click on the link, log in through your Gmail account if required, and you can proceed. Okay, so let me give you the first opening slide in that. So 9 people have joined. Now all those 9 people can see the first slide, the title of the slide, use of ICT for optimal learning. As I said that I believe in interactions and I believe in two-way communication. This should not be a one-way delivery. So it is expected that you also give your inputs during that interactions wherever required. And if it is still having somebody is having a problem, please let us know so that we can guide you and we will see that you get an access to the presentation link. I'm sharing it once again in the chat so that more people can join. Fine. So in the first session, friends, I'm going to share with you and interact with you on the title, as you can see on the screen, which is use of ICT for optimal learning. And let us begin with some responses from your side. Okay, there's a question on your screen. And the question is, what do you think about ICT? When you listen to this word, when you read this word ICT, what is that which comes to your mind? On your screen, you will see on the right hand side a text box where you can type your answers, your thoughts. And the question is because we have been hearing this word ICT, this phrase use of ICT for a long time. What is that which comes to your mind first when you say that ICT has to be used for whatever purpose in the academic sense? It can be teaching, it can be learning, it can be evaluation, it can be administration. What is your thought? So all those who have joined can put your thoughts in the message box so that I can read out the message and I can share it with all the rest of the participants. Okay, I can see 14 people have joined and 4 have started giving some response. Okay. It would be also good if all those who have joined and are participating in the message there can, if they write their names, I would be able to give the credit when I share thoughts and the responses with all the participants here. Kindly refrain from using the Zoom chat because I am not going to look into it. The link which I've shared, I'm sharing it once again in the Zoom link. Please see that you use the link which I've shared in the chat and give your responses. Okay. And also, if you can write your name, I would be able to call out the name also that who has written what. Okay. So let me read one response which I immediately read and I liked it. Okay. So by the way, ICT full form is Information and Communication Technology. That is the full form of ICT. But I have got one of the response which is defining the I as not information but as interaction. So participant has written ICT is interactive communication technology. Though this is not the correct, technically correct definition, but I liked it because it has the word, catchy word, a very important word. And that importance is not only about the characteristics and features of ICT, it is also about the pedagogy. So interactive communication technology is what ICT means. Okay. Then we have another participant who has written a tool for inclusive education. So I'm not able to give the name credit because the names are not written on my screen right now. If in the same message box where you typed your response, you can just write your name at the end or in the beginning, I would be able to read out the names also who has written what. Okay, so we have one more response. Maybe it is related to teaching and learning new technology. Okay, so that's okay. It's use of new technology. Then we have a response where ICT is use of computing and telecommunication technologies and tools to facilitate the way information is created, collected, processed, transmitted, and stored. Okay, this is a very elaborate and kind of technical definition of ICT. Okay. And okay, one interesting response is to make classroom sessions more interesting. Very good. Then we have Dr. Shrikala who writes ICT is a tool for inclusive education. This is also absolutely correct. Very nice. So we have got how many? 9 responses as of now. Okay. And Dr. S.K. Srivastav has written that interactive communication technology. So thank you, Dr. Srivastav, for that. It's a very creative kind of, you can say, explanation about that I, alphabet I. Okay. Let us wait for a few more seconds for the NC. Some Vikrant is writing something, or I don't know. There is no message, no response attached to, just the name is written. Okay, you can write your response also in addition to that. And okay, we have one more response. Communication and interaction through digital means. Yes, that is correct. Okay. People are slowly getting acquainted to this new environment. As you are typing your responses, let me also explain what is this environment about. Maybe all of you don't know what I'm using right now. But if you read the URL which I have shared with you, it reads app.peerdeck.com. So this is a presentation which I have created, but not on Microsoft Office PowerPoint presentation. This presentation I have created on Google Slides. So we all have Google Gmail IDs, and with Google, we have a lot of Google applications integrated. One of the application of Google is Google Slides. In Google Slides, we have an additional extension which we can install on our browser. That extension name is PeerDeck, PEARDECK. You can see the URL also. In that URL, that PeerDeck name is written. So PeerDeck is an add-on extension which we can install on our browser. And when we use Google Slides as a presentation software or an application, we can use this PeerDeck through which we can make our PowerPoint presentation or our presentation slides interactive the way as you can see right now. Let me just for a moment share the Zoom screen, and I'll request all of you to come back to the Zoom environment because I'm to show them how does the screen look from my end. Okay. So if all of you can come back on the Zoom application, this is my slide which I have shown, and in the link which I have shared, you are all able to see not only this particular thing, but you are also able to see this environment where you can type, you can write this is Mandar Bhanushe, and then you can write what is your response about ICT. So this when you write here, okay, immediately what I can see is that I am able to see the responses here. I can see the responses in a list format, one below each other. Okay, some of you might be thinking from where am I reading the responses, right? Or I can read it in a grid format. This is a grid format. I can read 3 at a time, for example. So this is what you can use as an application when you're doing your actual classroom presentations also. This is not only in the case of online lectures. Okay, in your classrooms also, you can easily use this peer deck application. Just create your PowerPoint presentation in Google Slides. That's all. And install this add-on, which is called as peer deck. If you do that, you'll be able to create your interactive presentations in a very easy format. Fine. Let us move on to the next slide. And those who have still not joined, I once again request you, we have 17 people who have joined, and there are 40, almost 40 people here. Please click on the link in the chat and you can follow the entire presentation. So technology integration for learners is the need of the hour. But what this mean? Okay, we need to know what is the meaning of technology integration. So there is a very nice definition which has come from National Educational Technology Standards for Students, which is through the International Society for Technology in Education. It writes in a very nice way the meaning of what is technology integration for learners. It says effective integration of technology. Okay, please see the adjective which has got added, effective integration. It is not just any kind of integration of technology, random integration. It says effective integration of technology is achieved when students are able to select technology tools. Now, this is something very striking. Why? Because the right to choose the technology is with the teachers or with the institutions or with the universities. It is not with the students. Whereas this definition says effective integration is achieved when the students are able to select technological tools to help them obtain information. That's the first primary thing. What is the first primary thing? To obtain information in a timely manner. So the second point is the information which has to be obtained should be in a timely manner. Third, analyze and synthesize the information. Fourth, present it professionally. When this is happening, we say the integration of technology is effective. The second line is also very interesting. The technology should become an integral part of how the classroom functions and this technology, whatever we are using for our students, should be as accessible as all other classroom tools. This should be registered in our mind, that it is, see, the systems are in some, at some point the system was completely technology and teacher centric. Then as technology advanced, it became technology centric. Whereas our entire education system obviously has to be learner centric, student centric, because this education system basically is functioning, is existing for the benefit of students. So therefore, the students have to be at the center of this entire system where we are integrating technology, we are using technology, and we would like to use it in a very smarter way also. Let us see some details about it. So this is a picture which I've taken from one of the articles where it defines what are the stages of ICT integration in education. The key connector to this ladder of different steps of integration of ICT in education, the key connectors are technology and pedagogy, which is quite evolving throughout. The technology is also evolving. The pedagogy also has to evolve with reference to the technology. For example, 30 years before, 40 years before, there was no computer related anything which is in the education, teaching, learning, evaluation. Everything was pen and paper. Everything was offline as of the way we call today. So 40 years before, what was the pedagogy? What was the technology? 20 years before, what was the technology? Accordingly, what did we change as far as the communication of the subject, the delivery of the subject is concerned? And today, when we are seeing that after every 1 and 2 months, we get something new coming in the technology, some new tools are getting developed and designed. So the pedagogy, the way we teach, also has to evolve with the evolvement, with the change of the technology which is coming. In this process, as you see the difference between the first and the second picture, the difference in the second picture is that almost the steps are same, but what has got added in addition to that is a reinventing component. So we have to reinvent ourselves as far as the technology and as far as the pedagogy is concerned. So reinventing is again the key word for ICT integration. So we are, rest of the steps are obviously going to remain the same, but technology would be changing. Hence, as far as the change in technology is concerned, the teaching styles, the teaching methodology has to change. And we as teachers of 21st century have to reinvent our skills. Therefore, many times what we say in this area of skills is that there are three types of things which every 21st century teacher has to cautiously do. And what are the three things? Unskilling, reskilling, and upskilling. Certain skills after a period of time, certain period of time are not required. So we have to just unskill them, remove them. Certain skills have to get reoriented, reinvented. So we need to reskill ourselves. And certain skills have to be upgraded to the latest technology, to the latest studies based on the studies done. So that is upskilling. So unskilling, reskilling, and upskilling is what is something which the 21st century teachers should be very cautiously doing. Let me ask you at this point one more question, that why do you think is there any need to integrate? What is the necessity to integrate ICT? Why should we integrate ICT in our teaching, learning, and evaluation? I am talking about three important processes here with which we are concerned, all of us are concerned with. And now there are 19 people who have joined out of 42 people. I am excluding myself and Pankti madam from this because we are the speakers for this session. So 42 participants are there on the Zoom link and 19 participants are there on the Peer Deck application which I've shared. I expect 21 more to join in the next few minutes because otherwise it will be, you will be just getting the audio. No presentation slides on your screen and no interactions also are possible. So please respond to this question which I have put in front of you. And the question is very obvious, that why do you think is the necessity to integrate ICT? Why should we do it? If we don't use ICT, what is the problem? Okay, so you can give both pros and cons of this. The broader question is, why do we integrate ICT? So I would be happy to know your responses. As I can see, 3, 4 people have already started writing. So please write your names if possible so that I can give the credit. And I'll give you a minute or so to put down your thoughts, to pen down your thoughts. Take some time and give a response to this particular question. Why should we integrate ICT in our regular processes, which are teaching, learning, and evaluation? Okay. I'll give you a minute for the response. I can see how many. 4 people have started writing something, and there are 19 people who have joined. So the actual attendance is 19. 42 is just a number on the Zoom. Okay. Okay, so I can see almost 9 people have started giving some responses. I'll read after I get some more responses. Everybody should write something. That is my request, because this is, as I said, otherwise there is no interaction which is possible, and I am not interested in one-way delivery, because it is something which should come from both the sides. We all are on the same boat. We are sailing in the same boat. So we should all think about this as a community, that as teachers of 21st century, how do we take this particular point of integration of ICT, use of ICT in all the different aspects. Okay, fine. So let me read out the responses. First is by Vikrant, and he says that training institute need to keep up with new technology, and also students can find it comfortable. Okay. Old style of 45 minutes lecture and only 7, 8 minutes of portion they can remember. So what Vikrant sir has written is absolutely correct. And if you're all able to connect to what he is writing, then it would be really interesting. See, we are taking earlier, before NEP, we were taking 48, 45 minutes of lectures. Now post NEP, there is a lecture has got converted into 60 minutes, 1 hour lecture. Now, actually, in this 60 minutes, there are 2 questions which come from whatever we do in these 60 minutes in a classroom. First is that of these 60 minutes, actually, how many minutes of knowledge creation is happening, or something which we say as knowledge is happening? Most of the times of the 60 minutes, the majority time will go to give information. Some component will go to administration, taking attendance and making discipline in the classrooms, etc. Actual fruitful time is how much in the 60 minutes lecture? And as Vikrant very rightly writes, that of that only 7 to 8 minutes is what they can remember after the lecture is over. So if this is a situation, then does ICT helps in resolving this issue, is my question to all of you. Okay, we have Nilima who writes to make teaching learning process interesting. That's okay. Then Prabodh is writing, can update the students with current developments in the field. Correct. Students have access to study materials at their convenience after school, after colleges. This also introduces transparency. So this is also very interesting thing which Prabodh has written. So very good. And we have enhanced interaction and engagement written by one of the participants, but no name. Captain Krishna Swami writes to save unnecessary waste of time. Good. And interaction will make participants more attentive. Both the points are correct, Captain, as you have written. See, I'll give this example of this particular session itself. Now, because there is an ICT tool which is being used through which it is not only that I am speaking what is coming in my mind or my presentation is just delivered one way, I'm also trying to add your thoughts into my thoughts and trying to make some collage of it. Okay, so that way it is a two-way interaction which is also happening. So both the points what you have written are correct. We have Vinod Arya, Dr. Vinod Arya writing that any means is according to overall development in any particular society. And this is a global information age, very correct. So we need to integrate it as a prerequisite. That's absolutely correct. We have one response, keeping up to date with the latest trends make learning interesting and fun. Very good. Please write your name also. This is a very good point which one of the participants has written. We need to make the learning interesting. It should be a fun element also. It should have a fun element. And at the end of that, the person should learn something. Interest has to be created in the learning process. Engaging the learners is very important. See, please, we can reflect what is happening in our physical classrooms. The learners are not engaged completely. There's a distraction. How do we take care of this distraction? And when we have crowd of 100, people in big classes, how do we handle these things? Then we have Mr. S.K. Srivastav writing improvement of learning process, faster communication, digitalization of the flow of knowledge is what is the reasoning, the justification for use of ICT. We have Dr. Srikala mentioning that ICT is for what purpose? To improve and to enhance the experience of learning and its efficiency. Very nice point. Then last response from Nilima Joshi. She writes, it enhance communication. ICT will enhance the communication. It will make smooth communications basically. It reduces time, very good, and the effort also which is required for a particular task. It gives easy access of information. It can also save on expenses of the organization. Now, this is a very smart point. Please understand. Generally, there is a kind of thought process where people have a perception that ICT will increase the cost, increase the expenditure. Though this is not 100% true, the answer, partially it is true when in the initial process, in the initial stages. In the initial stages, of course, there will be an expenditure which is incurred. But in a long run, this expenditure is not that much as we compare it with the other expenditures which we do when we are not using ICT. So the expenses of the organization in a long run also would be reduced. Now, these are the points which you have written. Let me share with you the points which I have in my mind. Why to integrate ICT? And you can also put your thoughts with reference to that. The reason number one is that technology is ubiquitous. It is everywhere now. You have no place where there is no technology involved. Everywhere there is an integration, there is a use, extensive use of technology, and it would definitely increase in manifolds. The second point is that the integration of ICT is to help students, our learners who are 21st century generation learners, acquire the skills they need to survive in a very complex, highly technological and knowledge-based economy. So we cannot say to the learners that we are not going to use technology because we are not comfortable with it. But the learners definitely need that entire skill which they require for surviving in this very highly complex and technologically advanced knowledge-based economy. The third reason is about the four components of quality learning. See, many times this, when we are increasing the quantity, we try to neglect the component of quality. So there is something which is we call about the four key components of quality learning. Now, when we look into these four key components, then obviously ICT integration becomes mandatory. Number one in that is active engagement. Now, this was also one of the points which a participant has written, that to increase the interest and engaging, learners should be engaged. So if you want to engage your learners, you need to bring ICT, technology, tools so that the learners will learn from all different dimensions. Only one dimensional learning is not going to be beneficial for the learning of all kind of learners. See, our classroom is not only of specific level of learners. We have learners who are completely, you can say, slow learners. We have learners who are very fast learners. You can say gifted children. We have average learners in our classrooms. And we have a category of learners who don't know why they are there in the classrooms. Of all these different levels of students which we have in our class, how do we manage this component of quality component of engagement? How do we engage the learners? So if we use different ICT tools, we will be able to engage the learners. The second component of quality learning is participation in groups, group learning, participative teaching, cooperative learning. Now, this is something which is really a need of the hour, and we really need to think about how do we implement this in our regular classrooms. Just giving them a group project is not going to work. We have to engage the learners in groups and make the groups also active through the participation. And participations have to be monitored by giving them some incentives. That only is going to motivate them to sustain in that environment for the entire learning graph. The third component of quality learning is frequent interactions followed by a constructive, customized feedback to the learners. And the fourth key component is connection to the real world experts. Now, if you look into these four key components of quality learning, you definitely would be able to see. Just let me check whether the recording, I don't know why did it stop, but is there any way through which we can record it once again? Record to the cloud. Just let me check. Okay, fine. Okay, so these are the four important things which we need to take care. And obviously, when we have to give a solution to these four key components, the best solution would be to integrate ICT so that we can have active engagement, we can have group participation, cooperative learning, we can increase interactions and give feedback to the learners in a very automated but customized way, and we can connect the learners to the real world experts and the applications without any difficulty. Okay. Now, there's an obvious question in a people's mind, and I've given a text box where you can put in your thoughts also as I explain it on my slide. You can also give your thoughts because this is a question which comes up regularly, that how does it enhance the quality? I mean, what is the guarantee that if you use ICT, then the quality is going to increase, etc. So the first point in this, and you can write your own thoughts, as I said, simultaneously as I describe the slide which is there on your screen, that technology also changes the way teachers teach. Now, this I'll just put a pause here and let you think more about this particular first line, because just think of the scenario that you're teaching your subject for last, say, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, or more than that. If you keep on teaching in a same style every year, see, this question had come long back. A resource person asked in a workshop to the teachers who were participating, and he asked this question that how much teaching experience do you have? And then everybody started saying, I have 5 years experience. Somebody said 10 years, 8 years, 20 years. So the numbers were changing. And after he took a call of 10, 15 teachers, then he said, okay, fine, I have got the information. Let me ask you the question by rephrasing it. And he said that, do you really have 10 years of experience, or you have experience of 1 year multiplied by 10 times? Now, what was a subtle message in this particular second supplementary question is that when I say I have an experience of 10 years, means I have a rich experience of 10 years. Every year I am experimenting something and getting a new experience. And the other line is I have an experience of only 1 year and I'm repeating it 10 times. So numerically it is 10, but the experience is of only 1 year. This should not happen. So when we use technology, when we use ICT, then this is definitely going to happen that the way we teach our subject is also going to take a very qualitatively better step. And therefore, technology also changes the way teachers teach. For example, I want to teach mathematics using a blackboard, and I want to teach mathematics using a PowerPoint presentation. And now the third scenario, I want to teach mathematics using a application, using a software. So all the three types of teaching methods are different. So every time, though the topic might be same, but the way I communicate my subject on the blackboard, using the PowerPoint presentation, using a particular software is going to be different. And therefore, it is going to enhance my teaching skills in that subject. It offers educators effective ways to reach out to different types of learners. And we have seen the different types of learners as an example, and assess the student's understanding through multiple means. Now, this is what I am trying to say when I say that what is that quality enhancement which is going to happen? I have now different options to teach the same topic so that every category of learners, every level of learners can be addressed. Their issues can be addressed. The slow learners will be taken care of, the fast learners will be taken care of, the average learners will be taken care of. Teachers have to grow into the roles of advisor, content expert, coach, mentor, facilitator. We are not just mere teachers now. Okay, 20, 30 years before that was okay, fine. Now we have grown into a different role. And this is the role which demands that we have to use ICT, we have to use technology. The entire classroom dynamics of learning changes. It accelerates the learning. See, if you take this same environment of peer deck, which I'm using right now, and you compare it with your PowerPoint presentation and this presentation. Here in this presentation, now you're also taking into account what does your student simultaneously thinks when you're putting your slides. In the earlier case, when you just have a PowerPoint presentation, you don't know what is the student currently thinking. But here, if you're using this ICT tool specifically in a physical face-to-face classroom, you are giving a choice for the learners to interact with you, to share their thoughts. And let me read out one thought which has come from Nilima. She had written something, but now she has deleted probably. But you can just write down your thoughts. I can see only one person has responded, but that also has got deleted. Okay, I'll read it if it comes in the second after some time. So we have this classroom dynamics changing. It is accelerating the learning. Third, and this integration of technology, this encourages student-centered, project-based learning. See, when we are doing something manually, we have time constraint, we have other physical constraints. But when we go to an online medium, when we are using ICT, when we are using technology, we can scale it up to as many numbers as the technology allows you to. So you now can focus on student-centric activities. Now we can focus into group learning. Now we can focus into project-based learning. We can give them some experiments so that they can try it on their own as an individual, as a group, so that the teamwork also can be taken care of. And the last point in this is this, and I say this means it is integration of technology, use of ICT. It increases productivity and efficiency of the teachers and of the learners, both. So you just think about these points, and of course the slides are there in front of you. This PPT also will be shared with you later on. Meanwhile, I can see some messages, some responses on the screen. Okay, one of the responses by Prabodh, and I think he's still writing, but it is technology uses at least two senses, he writes, visual and audio, okay, to convey the message. So that is correct. So we have all the different media options available when we are integrating ICT. And Professor Srivastava is writing that the self-learning will be encouraged. This is very true. See, students, specifically this 21st century students, they have a very different attitude. They are brought up in a very different environment. they have a very different exposure as compared to what we had when we were students. Now, when I say we means it, I'm talking about 40 plus age group of teachers. Of course, those who are just 20 to 30 age group teachers, they are almost in line with the millennial children. Those who are born post 2000, I'm talking about that generation basically. So self-learning is something which is really to be taken care of, and ICT will be definitely looking into it, and student can revise their topics, etc. Fine, very good. Okay, so good responses coming in. Let us move to the next slide. Okay, now here is a question in front of you, friends. How do we optimize learning of our learners? Okay, please think about this question. This question is in a very, it has very different meaning. I'm not asking about how do we handle the learning of learners. What I'm asking you to give your thoughts upon is how do we optimize, maximize the learning of the learners? What are the activities which we are supposed to undertake? That is my question. That I want some deliverables, proper deliverables. If I do this, then the learning of my learners is going to enhance. Okay, so these are the points which I'm looking out from your side. So 20 people have joined out of 40 people. So 50% attendance is there. So what are the actionable points which you can give? What are the deliverables which you can think of through which you think that the learning of learners will be optimized, will be maximized? Maximum learning can happen if I do this, if I do this, if we do this. It can be an individual activism. It can be an organizational, institutional kind of activities which you can list out. I'll give you 1 minute for the responses so that you can think and write something which is really interesting. I'll share the responses with all the participants also in the due course. Meanwhile, you can just, I can see two people have started writing, three people have started writing. Please put your thoughts. So you can give your experience, you can share your experience, you can share your experiments. You can say that in my lecture, I tried to use this strategy and therefore my students' learning enhanced or the learning was optimized. You can give some good healthy practices of your university, of your college. All kind of things you can share in this particular place where I'm trying to find out some very much actionable points that through which we can optimize the learning of our learners. Okay. Meanwhile, as the others who are on the peer deck application link are giving their responses, I'm just moving into this Zoom environment and would like to interact with those who have not joined that link. So if you can just let me know what is the reason that why you have not joined. I would be happy also to know the reasons because otherwise, as expected, everybody should have joined. But out of 43, only 20 people are on the peer deck link which I have shared, and 23 people are here, 20 people are there. So I would like to know from those 20 people who are here that why they have not joined the application link because they are not able to see the presentation also and not they are not ready, they are not in the, they cannot enjoy also what is going on the other side. So those who are here and not there on the peer deck link can just let me know that why are you not there? Can I know some reasons? Okay, one message has come from Arun sir, is that please share the link once again. I'm just sharing the link to all once again. But then you should have asked in the beginning, whenever you joined, you should have asked this question to me. So there's a participant number 39. Can I know where from the participant number 39 that why you have not joined? You have sent so many direct messages to me on the Zoom application. You could have easily joined the link, and through that also you could have asked. Okay. When there is no response means either you people have just joined and left. There is no track. Okay, I can see the response from 39 saying that I have joined now. Okay, let me check. Okay, 23 have joined. So 3 new people have joined. That's good. But still there are 20 people here who have not joined. 21 because we are 44 here. So surprisingly, why the remaining people have not joined? 91 joined. Okay. Okay, but still 21 have not joined. I'm just waiting for getting responses on the other side. So 5 out of 23 have given some response to the question that how do we optimize the learning of the learners? I'm trying to get some more responses. Now 24 have joined. So we have how many left? Okay. Out of 45, 24 have joined. 21 are still missing. Okay. So in the last slide, we'll take an attendance on that peer deck link. So, and that can be shared with the organizers. Okay, jokes apart, let us read out the responses. Okay, so my question was, how do we optimize the learning of the learners? So I have got one response from Nilima. If we are teaching any concept and at the same time we will show any small animated video. So in a larger sense, you mean we can use multimedia technology so that it adds visual effects so that in that way we can try to optimize the learning. Okay. Immediately after any module, question and answer session can be initiated to know effectiveness and knowledge transfer. Captain Krishnaswamy, right? Recap of the topic, frequent MCQ test, asking questions in a class, tell a story connected with the topic if possible. Very nice, Dr. Srivastav. In fact, see this, because you have written this, it gives me this chance to share. Storytelling, gamification is something which is very much important to be implemented as a pedagogical strategy. See, why do we remember film songs? Why do we remember poetries which we have learned in our school days? Why do we remember the Panchatantra Katha, the Jatak Kathas, still today, even after 20, 30 years of our childhood? That means that this is an environment which always stays in our memory for a longer period of time. I remember my chemistry teacher teaching me the periodic table in a rap format till today. Okay. So when people give you certain kind of things in this way, you always remember it. So telling a story, sharing it, putting it in a melody, singing it, writing a poetry over it, making some kind of anecdotes, phrases over it. That is how you remember your content strongly. So this is a very nice point which you have raised. And then Prabodh writes PPTs with embedded hyperlinks, interactive discussion on topic, follow up in subsequent classes are important. Okay, the 2 other responses are nice, which I don't know what do I get from it. Okay, then somebody has written 8400. What is that? I don't know, but by asking to solve them quiz. Okay, quiz. Interaction recap by asking questions. So some common points I have got from 7 of the participants. So very good. Let me give you my pointers here. Okay, so now I have tried to read out 6 to 7 responses. Now let us see what is there in my mind to share with you. And these are 4 or 5 different case studies also. You can take it as a case study. Number one point in that is learning by doing. So there is something called as Universal Design for Learning, UDL. What is this UDL? Okay, it is a framework. It is a framework to enhance your teaching skills, to optimize the learning skills of the learners. This is a tool. This is a framework which we can use. And there is a nice website on Universal Design for Learning. It's a good framework. Many teachers, many institutions, many schools are using this as a pedagogical framework for their teaching and learning purposes. So all over the world, in different schools, in different colleges and universities, there are many experiments which are going on. See, we all need to understand and come to a very common point of conclusion why somebody should learn, what somebody should learn, and how the learning happens. For the how of the learning, we need to know some strategies, some kind of actionable pointers, some kind of goal, some kind of objective, some kind of unique ways of delivery. That is the how of learning. What of learning is all kind of different online, offline resources we have. The core learning which happens, co-learning means cooperative learning, learning in a group. Then the presentation of the information through the students, through projects, through activities, through assignments. The why of learning is, why am I a learner? Basically, how do you fit into the brain of the child that why you should learn? What is the purpose of learning? What is that should motivate me to learn? What is that which will stimulate learning in me, stimulate interest in me? These are the whys of learning, why somebody should learn. Now, for answering all these three basic questions of how, what, and why of learning, this UDL is a very nice model. And I'll definitely recommend all of you to later on, after the session is over, do a small search on it and you can get into more details of that. The second point of optimal learning, which I think is coming from the NEP 2020 document, wherein it says for the teachers specifically that learning, how to learn is to be taught to the teachers, to the students. And the student should understand that learning for the sake of learning, learning not for the sake of examination, learning not for the sake of getting some certification, learning to learn. And for teachers, it is teaching the students how to learn. This is going to optimize the learning. How, what, and why is what was UDL talking about, the universal design of learning. NEP basically talks about how to learn. Teach the students how to learn. They will learn themselves. And therefore, now you become facilitator because your job is to facilitate the learning process. That's all. The third component of optimal learning environment is engagement policies. How do you engage better your learners and most of your learners, almost all learners? I'm giving all options to you. Optimization of your instructional time in that 60 minutes, how much time you actually use for instruction, and optimization your time for interactive learning. This is to be balanced properly. And this can be only balanced if you plan it accordingly. If you don't plan it, it will not be balanced. Then the learners getting a ear, they get a hearing. The problem with our system is that we are so packed up in the schedule of finishing the syllabus. In addition to that, we have so much of administrative things which have got added into the educational administration that we don't have time to listen to the what learner wants to say to us. So give them a hearing. That is also give them their recognition. Take cognizance of their presence. That will increase the learning environment. It will optimize the learning environment. And finally, I have one case study as I gave one as UDL, Universal Design of Learning. There is also one case study about a school basically, but this can be thought of extending it to higher education system also. And the case study is about SLPM, which the full form of which is Student-Led Parents Meeting. Now, all of us have children who are going to schools, who have been going to schools, etc. And in schools, generally on Saturdays, sometimes we have this open house day where the teachers, the classroom teachers, the subject teachers, they show the report card of your child to the parent. Now, this is a very common practice, but there is a school in our Mumbai University jurisdiction itself, in Mumbai, just in MMRD region. That school made this innovative practice called as student-led parents meeting. So their class 8, 9, and 10 standard students, they started this experiment with. They taught the 8, 9, and 10 grade students how to come out with the analytics of their performance in the examinations. So they taught them how to make statistical charts, bar diagram, histogram, or percentage analysis, pie chart of whatever they have performed in their maths, economics, or social studies, or other papers. And when the parent comes for the open house in the school, the student will show the report card with the analysis to his parent. Let's see, my see mother or father, this is how I have performed. Out of 20, I got only 10 marks. These are the 10 marks where I have lost, etc., etc. The performance analysis is done by the student, and the student shows it to the parents. Now, this kind of activity which they did as an experiment, innovative activity, solved two issues. One issue was the fighting which always used to happen between the parents and teachers. No, no, you should give your half mark more, you should give 1 mark more. That child got this many marks, my child got this many marks. All these kind of grievances coming from the parents have completely gone, because now the child is explaining why I have got so many marks. Second, the child gets confidence in his own performance. Otherwise, the child, oh, I know, lost 2 marks. Why did you lose these 2 marks? How can you do like that? Why did you write like that? All this questioning now has completely gone. Teachers are happy, parents are happy, students are now confident enough regarding their performance. So, opportunities to participate, to explore, to discuss comes from this example. This is how the learning environment can be optimized. This is an example of a school, but how do we extrapolate it into an environment of a university, of a college? We need to think about some innovative practices regarding this particular thing. Let us move forward. Now, I'm giving you some activity on your screen. So those who have joined can definitely do. Let me just show to you that how you should use it. So let me share my screen for a second so that I can show you. You can come on the Zoom link for a moment. See, this is what you have on your screen right now. And what I'll suggest you is to use this text tool. You can see this at the bottom ribbon, white ribbon. There's this alphabet T on your screen. So if you press on this T and then come on this mind map and click on this, for example, place here, then you can write your name. You can write what I'm asking. Okay, what is my question basically? Draw or type a mind map on where can I use ICT. For example, you may write this ICT. I can just try to, where should I put it? I'll put it here somewhere. This is my name. So you can also use this pencil tool, but then you have to reduce the size first of all, so that you can write properly. But writing using a mouse is very difficult, as you can see. Okay. So it is those who can write using a mouse or a pen. If you have a pen, then fine. But the best is to use what? Use the text tool. So I'm just giving an example. Somebody can use a text tool here and then click here somewhere and write. I'll be using ICT for my research purpose. Okay. So like this, I want all of you to write what comes to your mind. 4 pointers you can write at the most. You can write many more, but we have less time. So can you draw a mind map, type a mind map on your own choice where you can use ICT? Okay, I've shown you how to do. Now I'll give you 1 minute to finish this activity and let me see how many people give me all kind of responses. I'll show it on the screen also. That also would be good to see what people are writing. Okay. As I said, the best is to use the text tool, but of course you can use the pencil tool, but it will be not looking that great if you use the pencil tool, but still you can try. I'll give you 1 minute for writing at least one area. You can write for teaching mathematics. I would like to use ICT. I can use this software for you teaching my this subject. Yeah, you can write anything which comes to your mind. Educational administration, research, examination, delivery of your subject, whatever comes to your mind. Where can I use ICT? Okay, the floor is open for all kind of responses. I can see 24 people have joined, 8 have started responding. I'll give you 1 minute. Please write down something on the screen. Okay, you have the option to write. You can write it very well. Okay, 13 people have responded by now, and I can see some examples. Okay, good. So let me also show you, because I can see there are some more people who, most of you have not joined. Okay, 20 people have not joined. Okay. So let me share the screen here on the Zoom application, and okay. So on the Zoom link, you can see the responses which you people are giving as far as this question is concerned. And as I can see, I can just try to read out some responses like Tinker card to learn electronics, microcontroller, CAD, is e-simulation for PLC, something is written for electronic circuits. Okay. This second one in the middle top row, this is what I have written as an example. Teaching, evaluation, research, administration is where you can use ICT. Then we have communication, LMS, feedback as one of the response. See, good, somebody has used very nice colors also. So there were so many colors, no? You could have used different colors. Delivering a lecture, sharing knowledge of some hypothetical process like growth of cancer, conduct feedback from the stakeholders, IT, somebody's written. Then Captain Krishnaswamy to teach ship stability calculations, to teach navigation concepts, Maritime Institute, Tolani, to teach collision regulations. Okay. LMS, MATLAB, Python is what somebody has written. Some arrow has been drawn by somebody, can't decode what is that. Beyond classroom interaction and feedback, interactive learning, tailor-made courses, continual assessment, a group of faculty can develop material together. So these are very nice points. I'm happy to see all these points coming up. Let us try to move forward, and because we have how many time? 15 minutes left for the first session, but I'll finish it little early. These are my responses to the point which I asked to all of you, that where can we use ICT? Of course, all what you have written is in addition to that, you can take this as also as a point. Also in the bracket, I have written something. So that is an adjective you can add to your pointer. So where can I use ICT? In research. Now in research also, for improving my research, for making my research better, making my research connected with what is happening in the contemporary world. So that is where I can use ICT so that the research is qualitatively improved. Then I can use ICT for communication of my subject. It can be the administrative educational administration. It can be core academics, but to make the communication effective, I can use ICT. Then I can use it for gamification purpose to add a fun element, use of multimedia, use of visualization techniques, like use of different softwares, applications, add some fun elements so that people learn. Maybe Pankti madam in her session would give you an example of how we can use crosswords, something like a very simple thing which we have in the newspapers. How do we integrate that into our environment so that through crosswords also people love of any age? It may be a young kid or it may be an elderly person. Everybody loves solving crosswords. Then we can use ICT for assessments. And in assessment, for what purpose? To bring variety. We can use rubrics. We can use the different competency levels of the students while making assessments. So the social competency, emotional competencies. We can take care of the capacity building of the learners when we are doing the assessment using ICT. Virtual collaborations are absolutely possible using technology. Discussions and debates can happen. Teamwork can be done. Flexibility can be brought into the system. The pace of learning, as one of the participants also have written, the learners have their own pace of learning certain things. So this will be self-paced. Personalized learning experience can be brought if you use ICT. Accessibility to all. And learning by doing can be incorporated. Curiosity-driven content can be created. These are all, and this is not an exhaustive list. This is just a list which came to my mind while preparing the slides. You can add your own pointers also to this. Fine. Now here the last two slides are there, and I would like your engagement more in these last two slides. I want all of you who have joined, please put in your thoughts. into this. I think, but you are not able to write anything here. So this, I'll skip this slide. I'll move to the next slide. Okay, because there is some error. I can't see you are able to write it. Okay. Let me give you the answers to this also, that what are the challenges? Actually, my previous slide, I was expecting you to write down the answers here, but there is some problem with this slide and you are not able to write on that. I can see. But let me give you the challenges. Access of education to all. Anybody who wants to learn from us. This is a challenge in front of us. How do we provide the access to all? How do we provide equitable education to all? How do we provide quality learning to all? And when I say all, I am saying it deliberately because I don't want to exclude anybody. See, our regular colleges have a constraint of intake. They cannot take more than 30 students or 60 students or 120 students. So, how do I provide access to anybody who wants to learn from me? Those who I'm catering to, how do I provide equitable education to everybody, quality education to everybody? The training of teachers on use of ICT is a challenge. Who will train the teachers? Teachers, some teachers, not all teachers, are in a mindset that I am completely ready to deliver now. What is there to train? But then they need to understand that training is important, training is required. Content creation, if you want to use multimedia, how do you create multimedia content? Why you should create everything yourself? Somebody else has created, adapt it into your system. Adaption and adoption of existing content, add it into your system. Too much of giving, no understanding of pedagogy. These are the challenges. When the technological tools are given to us, we would like to give entire 200 pages of material into PDF on the online environment. पढ़ लो जो पढ़ने का है. Too much cannot be given. When you're teaching online, when you're using technology, it should be given in bits and pieces. You cannot give everything, 400 pages of material. Le lo, read it, learn it. No. We need to understand the pedagogy of use of ICT also. And there is a challenge of support services. Support services, when I say service, support services from the institution, from the college, from the university, from the colleagues, from the department, etc., etc., etc. From your family also. Family is important. So these are some challenges which we have to address when we talk about use of ICT. And yes, I think this slide you should be able to write. This is the second last slide. I would request all of you who are present here on this environment, okay, please share with me your responses on this slide. Take 1 minute to write one important thing which you are taking from this session, which we have not finished yet, but yes, on the verge of completion of the first half of the session. So 24 people have joined, as I can see, out of 42 people. So I expect all 24 of you to write some response to this. Okay, I would like to know what is that one thing which you would be taking away from this session? What is the takeaway? Okay. And I shall also share it with the participants on the Zoom link after all of you have finished, and then we can take some questions if you have. So out of 24 who have joined, 6 have taken some time to respond, 7. Okay. I think this number should increase basically. So if you have joined the peer deck link, it is just to put a message in that format. There's a text box in front of you and you have to just type your responses into it. So ideally all 24 of you should be able to give your response. And I expect that to happen in the next 1 minute so that we can finish the first session early, or you can immediately begin the second session, whatever is convenient to you. Okay, 8, 9 of you have written, so still 10. Okay. So 10 is what? How much percentage of this? We have 43 people, so how much? 1/4, 25%, 11. So 11 is exactly now 1/4 of the total number of participants in this group. 12. Slowly the numbers are increasing. Okay. 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 If you can write your names also, it would be good. But let me share the screen for those who are not on that peer deck link. So we have the responses as effective use of ICT, keep up with technology, importance and use of ICT, effective usage of ICT, fun activity. ICT is an integral tool in the teacher's toolkit. Elaborated understanding of ICT. Peer deck is what the participant number 91 has registered. Benefits of ICT, importance of intelligent use of ICT, peer deck, creative feedback apart from quiz like crossword, transformative power of ICT in enhancing efficiency and engagement. Okay. And then we have Dipali Kulkarni from Yash Institute of Pharmacy. Okay. So 12 out of total number of 42 people have responded. And here is the last slide in front of you for all of you who are on the peer deck link. How did you like the session? So there are two places wherein you can give your thumb. Okay, you can give your thumb on the left or on the right, whichever is okay for you. Okay, so there's a drag icon. There's a blue dot which is there on the screen. You have to just take the blue dot to either to the left or to the right. Okay. This is the easiest thing to do actually. Okay. So I can see almost all 13 out of 24 have responded, 14 have responded, and all have taken their thumb to the leftmost side. And I can share this also with all the participants. With this, friends, I would like to stop here and I would invite all of you to share your thoughts. What do you think as far as this particular session is concerned, the use of ICT for optimal learning? The forum is open for question and answer. And those who have joined the peer deck link and given the responses can come back to the Zoom link. And we have 12 minutes in our hand, so we can take some questions. But if there are no questions, then we can take a break and we can rejoin after the break of 10 minutes. So yes, the session is open for question and answer. Thank you very much for your patient listening. Yes, any questions? Are the participants allowed to use their audio? I don't know. I need to check. Yeah, okay. I think now you can use your audio. It was not there in the settings. So anybody would like to share some kind of thoughts which is there in your mind related to this? How to safeguard about intellectual property rights? Well, you have asked this question to a wrong person. I'm a person who works in the area of open educational resources. So as far as I am concerned, my whatever content I generate, there is no IPR for my content. Yes, we put a Creative Commons license. In my presentation, which I shared just now, there was a Creative Commons license also as a icon on the first opening slide. But yes, in an open environment, when we are talking about technology and all these things, it's a challenge to safeguard IPR. And then there are tools available for that. You can definitely have a separate session organized for how to take care of IPR when the entire world is coming close in a very different way. That is definitely you can think about it. Vikrant is writing, present generation students have expert hand on technology, but unfortunately very less memory or retaining capacity. See, this is okay. I can understand that. And I can relate to your question also very clearly that the present generation has its own challenges. But the larger question is then there are some opportunities and strength also which we have to talk about. It is not only that these challenges are more as compared to the strength and the opportunities which we have. We need to give them a direction which is missing. Say, for example, 10 years down the line, before we had this rule as in the college, that if a student is caught with a mobile phone, then the mobile phone will be confiscated and a 500 rupees or 1000 rupees fine will be taken from the student for carrying the phone in the college. Now, where are we after 10 years from this kind of rules and regulations? Now, we should welcome the students with the mobile phone and tell them, yes, interact with us using your smartphone. Don't use your smartphone for just watching time pass reels. Make the best use of that. There can be memory level gamification also, which can be created. In languages, we can do that. I know when I was very small, we were playing game, a very nice game of memory. That I say a name of a particular city, the next person has to take the name of the city which I said, and then he has to add his own name. Like that, we used to sit in a circle and we used to add the previous names and go on checking the memory. Who is the person who can collect most of the names in the same sequence? This was a game which used to play in the childhood days. So memory games, language teachers can work on it, math teachers can work on it. It's up to us in our subjects, how do we bring these kind of things? Okay, so Arun sir has a good experience of attending my lectures before. I don't know, but I'm very thankful to you. And yes, you can organize sessions. Basically, we work in the area of teacher training for pedagogy and for use of online ICT-based tools and technology. Pankti madam, who is with me in this session, is also working in the studio with us. So if anybody is interested in doing some physical offline workshops, okay, not online workshops, then you can definitely contact us. We have created MOOCs, massive open online courses for UGC Swayam. By now, we have created 4 courses for Swayam, and we are in a process of creating more online MOOCs for not only Swayam, but for other universities, private universities, and colleges through the studio which we have here. So we would be happy to share our expertise with all of you and experience with all of you. Okay, so if there are no questions, then from my side, it is a big thank you to all of you. Thank you for joining and thank you for being very patient. And also, thank you very much for being very interactive, especially to those 24 people who were there on the peer deck link. Those who missed it, I feel sorry for you because I think for some reasons you were not able to join us. But nevertheless, it's always good time to interact with you. I thank the MMTTC of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Marathwada University, Professor Rafi, for giving this opportunity for me and my colleague Pankti to interact with you. I think we can take a break. Somebody from the organizing committee or some participant who knows the administration of these online sessions can let us know whether there is a break of some time to be taken between 2 sessions or we can continue with the second session immediately. So from my side, it's over. Thank you. So as Dipali madam says, a break of 10 minutes. So it is 3:55. We'll take a break of 10 minutes, 4, 5. We will restart. Okay, not 20 minutes break. That would be too much. So we'll take a break of 10 minutes. It is 3, 5, 55. So 4, 5, all of you are requested to please join back with the same link. And our Pankti Surve madam from the Center for Excellence in E-Content Development will continue with the next session where she will take forward all those things which we discussed. And the topic will be on area of e-learning through massive open online courses and the initiatives which Government of India has taken in this direction and how we can take part into it. That is how the second session will be. Once again, thank you very much. Namaste. I'm taking a leave. You can join back at 4, 5 sharp. Thank you.
Hello. Hello. Am I audible? Hello. Am I audible?
Yes,
Yes,
madam.
ma'am.
Good evening, everyone. If we can start the session, because then we will be running in short of time. So if you all have joined, please, any one of you can respond back.
Yes, madam.
Yes, madam.
Hello. Can we begin with the session?
Yes, madam.
I cannot hear any one of you responding. So,
Good afternoon,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am, you
Am I
can respond to
audible?
the session.
Praniti, ma'am, am I audible?
if one of you can please unmute yourself, I can see your chats, but
Yes, madam.
Yes, yes, madam. You are
I cannot
audible.
hear you. So,
Yeah, you are audible. You can start, madam.
hello. Hello.
Yes, you are audible, ma'am.
Okay, just
You
I
can
just
start.
got your
Yeah,
yeah. I'll just
yeah.
start. Okay,
Okay.
thank you. So, in the previous lecture, we have already seen that how ICTs can be used, and sir has taken the you to how to use various tools and techniques for developing e-content. So, moving on further, we will start with we all know that the National Education Policy of 2020, that is through the Ministry of Human Resource Development, has already given us 5 fundamental principles, which are those: access, equity, quality, affordability, and accountability. So now, how do we meet all these expectations? How do we meet all these principles? So here, if you see, just a second, again, my screen sharing has stopped, I guess. Okay. So now how do we meet all these challenges? One of the ways to meet these challenges is the through the use of MOOCs or through the use of the uh, online e-content education system. Our Indian government has also taken many initiatives. Hello, is anyone saying something? Yes. Okay. So our government has taken initiatives, ICT initiatives in developing e-learning. So our Swayam, our EPG Pathshala, E-Adhyayan, Diksha, Shodh Sindhu. I'm sure you might have heard about this at some point or the other. And these are the various portals through which e-education is given to the students. Now it is time to think what is not going right in face-to-face learning. And it would be great if you all respond to me by either unmuting yourself or putting it in the chat box. So what do you think is not going right in face-to-face classroom? I hope people you are with me, so you can just unmute yourself and respond back, or you can put it in the chat box. So you as a teacher, as a regular teacher, you might be facing certain problems in your day-to-day classroom. So what are those things that are not going right in face-to-face classroom? Rather than keeping it one-sided lecture, we would have discussions. Because I'm not getting any of the responses. I don't know whether I'm audible to you or not. Yes, students are not paying attention very often. Non-participation of students. If you see today, the admissions are also on a decline. Isn't it one of the main problems nowadays? So let's moving on further. We will see that the challenges that we face is decreasing attention spans of the learners, as someone has rightly pointed out, gap in expectations, what the student wants and what the courses are offering. So even today we are in that traditional kind of thinking, and most of the teachers sadly feel that the chalk and talk method was fine and we don't want to change. Then asynchronous approach, lack of immediate responses, falling short of giving proper guidance to students, very high attrition rates. It is not necessary that all those who have enrolled in the first year would be definitely there in the second year itself or in the third year itself. Then the missing communication link. There is always a missing communication link. Like mostly what happens is once we finish the class of that 40 minutes, 50 minutes lecture, after that we think that the student will raise a query in the next classroom. But most of the time the student doesn't raises it, and there is a gap between what has to be covered. Then very high attrition rates and poor completion rates. So the admissions in the first year and in the third year, there is a huge discrepancy between those. How do I attempt to overcome these challenges? Now, this is the main question. Okay, so what can we do to overcome such challenges? This slide we have already seen. So some strategies that teachers can use to cater to this you know, unique needs of the online learners and also all these problems that we have been facing is boosting interaction and engagement. Like in the previous lecture, most of you were constantly interacting, okay, with sir. So the attention span, and the moment you start participating in the discussion, it is always your attention also increases, and it is beneficial both for the learners as well as for the speaker. Now, how do we do this? So collaborative activities. In the previous lecture, we have already seen how you all went on the peer deck slides, how you all contributed your ideas, how we are interacting even now through the chat box. So this can be done using various tools like shared whiteboards or working on presentations, annotations, etc. I will also be showing you various tools in some time. So interactive discussions is one of the ways in which you can make your lectures interactive. Breakout rooms, Zoom breakout rooms, I guess everyone might have used in their conferences, online forums, discussion boards, online debates. We can also organize so simple activity like a debate activity, which you all have in colleges. Debate competitions. It is not necessary that the student or the participants have to be physically present over there. You can also conduct online debates, also your discussion forums, your simulations. When I say simulations, it means that, see, it is not necessary that once you are planning for a trip, say for example, like a visit to Taj Mahal, it is not necessary that you physically take your crowd to Taj Mahal. It is, a bit difficult for you. But we can always, in this technology of this AI, by using your AR, VR gaze, etc., we can, make a 360-degree tour of the entire site, and the student can be taken over there through their own computers, through their own laptops. So nowadays, this is not something which is very difficult. Like in the temples as well, many of the temples have created their 360-degree views. So this can be used in your online e-contents creations. Analysis reports of the characters. Your reports can be shared online. Most of the things that we think that it has to be done physically in the classroom, today this is not reality. We can do many of the things. You can think out of the box, in fact, for completing your lecture or your syllabus. Digital storytelling is one of the ways. Again, we have recorded one beautiful course, okay, uh, where the resource person is digitally recording the stories, and also there are various activities that you can give nowadays. Students are very much into doing these activities, like creating multimedia presentations, or even you can ask them to create those short films and understand the characters, the plottings, or the themes itself. So digital storytelling is one of the ways. Historical context simulations, so taking it into a virtual recreation of a historical period to the literature that they are actually studying today, so they can interact with the characters. So for example, if you can digitally create, of course with the help of the technical team, uh, create an environment for Avengers, and they can interact with the characters themselves, they can explore the environment over there. Or say, for example, if you are a history teacher teaching a Harappan civilization, or taking them to our old temples, our Indian temples, our sites, our historical sites, our forts, etc. So you can give them a deeper understanding of the social as well as the cultural context of that time. Character development simulation, all of us are aware of this. Nowadays, we have been changing our faces to those AI avatars. So why not change your photos or the students' photos, taking those AI avatars and making the literary characters and putting them into the gaming environment where they will be able to solve those characteristics. You may say that this is not possible. This is possible through using various apps and through bit technical expertise if you have. So this can help them to explore the character's motivation, the internal conflicts, and we even they might react how they might react in the different situations. Critical thinking simulation, students can be presented with moral dilemmas, okay, and then they can solve those dilemmas. So in our education system, our main aim nowadays is to build character. So character building is one of the main you know dimensions of education. So when your student as an avatar faces a moral dilemma, say for example a road accident, okay, is shown on that virtual screen, how your student is going to react, how your learner is going to react in that particular environment. This can be shown with the help of the online learning system. Now, what is the need for e-learning? Most of you can come up with the responses, please. Why do we need e-learning? Now, after COVID environment that we have seen, the pandemic environment that we have seen, how within a span of just 24 hours, everything from switched from the offline system to online system, and most of us had faced certain difficulties while catering, while meeting the demands of the learner. So, what is the need for e-learning? Creating a continuous and holistic learning environment Time constraint. Within the classroom, you have certain time constraints. 40 minutes, 50 minutes, within that period of time, you will be completing your topic. Okay. But here in e-learning environment, when you develop your material in 4 quadrants, you are teaching them through your videos, you are giving them supplementary learning materials. You can also ask them to take up a quiz and you can assess the quiz as well. So now you may say that are we going to sit for those 24 hours and are we going to engage in all these activities? No. As we move on further, we will show you how this happens and you need not be physically present over this. So anybody, anytime and anywhere can have access to these courses. Today, many of the universities, many of the educational institutions are offering their courses online because they can have maximum number of participants. It can be undertaken by the students at any time and not at the fixed time zone because it can be self-paced learning as well. And there are also no physical barriers and they can take up the course anywhere. It is self-paced learning where the student, as per their disposal, most of them who are working, okay, or may have been occupied by different things, can log in at any time and complete their courses based on their self-paced. Students' learning engagement. The engagement, surprisingly, in online has been increasing, and if provided all the tools and techniques have been improved, the students' learning engagement is constantly increasing. Like if you are in a classroom, you have to force the student to answer. Some of them may feel shy. Okay, they do not want to answer, or they may feel that what if I'm wrong? But in an online environment, most of the students they feel highly comfortable to participate. Tracking students' progress has become extremely easier. Okay, just a simple example of not taking attendance on pen and paper, but tracking your students' attendance online. Okay, how much time spent they have done, or their internals, for example. The students tracking progress has become very easy through online. Multimedia content sharing, of course. Now we can share multimedia content through various portals, through LMS. It is extremely easier. And blended flipped learning. So I'm not saying that your classroom learning is not important and we should completely stop it. But obviously, blended learning mode where you can have the hybrid courses where you are giving certain points online, certain offline. Activities can be conducted online. This will be very much, attractive for the students as well. Now, how do I develop an online course? Now, before we move on to this topic, how many of you actually want to develop an online? Not just because someone has asked you to do it or someone because of forcingly, but how many of you really feel that you should come up with online courses? So is it only one person who feels that they want to create online course and not others? Yes. All of us, obviously, someone has responded offline is more interactive. We will get back to this question later. And shortly we will go on to it. So now for developing online course, I hope my screen is visible because the moment I switch to chat, okay, someone has stopped my screen sharing. So now moving on further. One second, just give me. Okay, I hope it is visible now. Now, how do I develop an online course? You need to first identify the topic that you feel you want to teach. Okay, so today, when after this lecture, when you are at home, think about the topic, think about the paper that you are teaching in your classroom. If you can develop an online course for that. Okay, so which topic would first thing is to decide your topic. Research about the topic. Of course, at this stage, I know that you all must be experts in your field. So research about the topic is fine, but not that much. You all might have the syllabus framed with you. Generate an idea. Am I going to just record the lecture? Can I provide certain audios for it? Can I conduct an interview for the same, or it can be a recorded interview? So generate ideas for it. List them and note down the points. This is very much important. Having a chronology and having certain points written down can definitely help you to create an online course. Otherwise, what happens is what we say is, and then later on we may forget about what the important points and do I really need to do. Create a rough outline, arrange it sequentially, compile your data, having your images, your tables, your figures, etc. Identify the tools and the softwares that you are going to use for a specific task and also review them. So similar to your classroom courses that are divided into various units, online, just 1 second. So similar to your classroom courses that are divided into various units, each one of us has a syllabus with us. So there are modules and you have sub-modules, you have sub-units in that. Similarly, your online courses are divided into modules. Now, definition, very important. Definition for module in online course is your 30 minutes. See, what happens is just like 40-50 minutes lecture that you all have in your classroom. Your online videos are not of 40 to 50 minutes, rather they are of 10 minutes. Duration, expected duration from the government of India and obviously from our learners as well is between 8 to 12 minutes. The reason being the learners today are not, they will not watch your videos. The attention span has decreased thanks to COVID. Okay, even the 15 seconds reels, even if it goes to 30 seconds, the learner will or the audience will just scroll it away. So what we do is basically, I will because the time is short, I have to run fast. But what we usually do is whenever there is a module, your syllabus is with you. So your first topic, say for example, your module 1A. Since I'm a sociology faculty, I would take something related to that. So say beginnings of sociology is my chapter 1. Within that, I have my pre-enlightenment period, enlightenment period, and post-enlightenment period. Now, no one is telling me to complete that pre-enlightenment period within 10 minutes. I agree, definitely agree that it cannot be completed into 10 minutes. At that point, what I will do is I will chunk that part. Okay. So what can be covered in 8 minutes? 8 minutes. And with that, you can, there is no tab on recording the number of videos. So maybe 5 videos of 10 minutes on pre-enlightenment period, that can be done. Okay, then again 5 videos on the enlightenment period. Now it is not necessary that everything has to be recorded in a video form. There can be audios, there can be simple illustrations. Okay, so you provide an image to your learner, you ask them to think about it, they will respond back with an answer. So there are various forms and various methods into which your entire module can be broken. Now the definition of module over here, your 3 videos, when it comes to 30 minutes, it becomes your 1 module. So this is for the recording purpose. So whenever we say 1 module, that you have recorded 1 module for this particular topic, it means that 30 minutes lecture has been done on that. Each module covers a section of syllabus. So as I said earlier, it is not necessary that you complete everything in that particular 10 minutes. You can have a number of list of videos, okay, that can be covered for that particular topic. A module consists of about 25 to 30 minutes of video content broken for smaller length of videos. So total 25 to 30 minutes content is your 1 module with which has 10 minutes of videos in it. To make the lecture more engaging, some activities, some quizzes with a pause can be done during a play. So this is called the H5P method, where it is not necessary. Now you may say that, ma'am, we record the videos and it is not necessary that the student will look at the video. I am sure you all might have this question, but you can make them complete their task of watching the video. Now how? Once your video is recorded, you may add reflection spots in it. What are reflection spots? Asking students questions in between where the student will respond back with an answer. So simply when I record a video, suppose for example, I have an MCQ in between. The video will automatically pause. The MCQ will be reflected. Unless and until the student clicks on the correct answer, responds with a correct answer, the video will not move forward. The student will have to listen back to that entire video, respond with an answer. You will give the feedback and only then the video will be processed further. Duration of online course is usually from 8 to 12 weeks. Total video hours in a course, including all modules, should not exceed 20 to 25 hours. Now, 25 hours is maximum and it is a lot. So when I say one module is of 30 minutes, imagine for 25 hours, you can calculate it on your this thing. Depending on the subjects and teacher's style of teaching, these modules are distributed over weeks covering the entire course. So you may have week 1, day 1, the template, I'll show it to you, week 1, day 1, week 2, day 2. So that way you can keep the things lined up. Each week begins with a brief introductory video of around 2 minutes duration, introducing you to the content of the specific week. So whenever you are creating an online course, don't forget to create an introductory video of about 2 minutes, which will give the introduction, and also a concluding video, which gives a brief summary and a brief outline of what you have already covered in that entire video. So each week would conclude with a sum up video of about 3 minutes reviewing the concepts that are covered in the specific week. What are the important components which are necessary for creating online course? That is the title. Of course, the title has to be clear. Be it your PhD research, be it your research title of the publication that you are doing, or be it your online course. The title has to be there. Credits have to be well defined. Duration has to be well defined, whether it is going to be of 8 weeks, 10 weeks, 12 weeks, etc. The course objectives. What am I going to learn from this video, from this course? Why do I take up this course? What is it going to give it to me? Okay. What are the learning outcomes after this course? What I will be able to do? The introductory video, as I said, you have to show, you should be showing an introductory video where the learner would, get into touch and get a brief idea of what will be the outcome. The technical team also is necessary, because I am sure that if not everyone is so much tech savvy, and there are other requirements as well. The studio is required for recording purpose, then the lights, etc. So the technical team for your visual presentations, instructional designers, obviously that team comes up. The weekly planner, the 4 quadrant, which is very important, and we will get into it, and the assessment part. So your components of online lectures, when it comes to video contents, audio contents, reading material, your evaluation, okay, your feedback, your interactivity, all this can be given in an online environment. Okay. So while teaching in offline mode, while teaching in classrooms, we may face certain limitations. I was also a teacher in classroom. I have gone through this offline system as well. So there were certain limitations that we faced at that time. We would think that I wish that this quiz they could have taken up right away, or I wish that they could have taken this assessment right in front of me and would have responded back together, or we might have done this in a gaming mode, etc. So all these things can be done online. So your infrastructure can be your office, your home. So here I would say that most of the tools that we will be using now in the lecture, I will be showing you to use. Like for example, sir said that about the crossword thing. We can use it in our classrooms as well. So this will enhance the interactivity in the classroom itself. So it is not necessary that you just take time, you wait till your online course is created, but we can definitely use it in our classroom to make it more interactive. Reading material, e-text, PDF notes, e-books, tutorials, quiz, blog wikis, etc. Simply using flip books, okay, the PDF notes, your QR codes can be presented. So your entire PDF has been uploaded on your drive. You create a QR code of it rather than printing out material in hard copy, wasting papers, xeroxing it and photocopying it, etc. We can simply provide them with a QR code. They can scan the QR code and they can have access to the articles. E-text, e-tutorials, quizzes, blog wikis, etc. Reading materials. Your reading material can be converted into pictures, PowerPoints, infographics, which is very popular, flow diagrams, pie charts, illustrations, charts, etc. Meme culture is very much today, so we can also use memes for our educational purpose. So now coming on to 4 quadrants, which is necessary for when you develop an online course. There are 4 quadrants. Now, first quadrant is based on e-tutorials. What does it include? Your audio or video content, the animations that you use, simulations. So, for example, when I said that we can use a 360-degree tour for a particular site, that can be included in your quadrant 1. Your video demonstrations, your those who are from science backgrounds, your lab experiments, etc. Your video transcriptions all form the first quadrant. Second quadrant is about the SLM, that is SLM is self-learning material, where you have questions in between and the student responds back on the same. Your ebooks, illustrations, again case studies, web resources, open resource contents, video research papers, then your historical developments, etc. all can become a part of the quadrant 2. So your extra learning materials as well can be provided. Then the discussion forum. Now, someone said that your interactivity has decreased in the classroom, or you may not have that much interactive. What is the main option and what is required is, once I provide a video, say for example, this is my week 1, day 1. I have provided a video content for the particular topic. I have also provided them with the quadrant 2, that is e-content, that is reading material. Now in the discussion forum, I may pose a question. We make it just like we have Facebook. We have seen how people have been active on Instagram, Facebook, etc. Just like that, we can create a discussion forum where something you can pose a question and you can ask your students to respond back based on the comments. This is one method of doing it. So, for example, if you say, what do you think about today's session? Let your friends respond back. Let them comment back. This will help them to collaborate with each other. They will get to know each other. So your discussion forum can be made a part of it. Or you can have a live discussion forum where, see, mostly this is what we generally do is like for week 1, say, suppose one person has recorded. I don't know, there is some disturbance from the side. I request you to kindly mute yourself. So now, in the discussion forum itself, we can also have a live discussion forum wherein the person who has recorded the video or the subject expert for that matter, one day you can decide, say for example, you may have a 1-hour session or 2-hour session online, and the person can discuss with the participants online. So your discussion forum can be, can have either a comment-based thing, or you may have a live session. Okay, so discussion forum for clearing doubts on real-time basis. Now, so for example, if you ask the students that raise your doubts for today's session, what's on your mind? You can ask them. Okay, and a learner has posed a question. Now, it is the duty of the teacher to respond back, with a customized feedback and on real-time basis. Because what mostly happens is the student has raised a query today, and after 4 and 5 days, we respond back to that query. The student will forget about that query, he will forget about the content, and he will lose interest. So now what we can do is, it is not necessary that only one person is in charge for that. You may have access to your 4-5, a pool of teachers of subject matter experts. You may get a notification over that okay, this is the doubt. You can respond to them, if not immediately, at least within a span of 12 to 24 hours. So that this will keep the students engaged. Most of the time, what happens is the students lose interest not because of certain other things, but because of the drawbacks of the teacher itself to respond back on time. Most of the times, the timely responses are important to keep yourself engaged. Assessment, yes, assessment. It is not necessary that you have your pen and paper examinations only. You can have problems as well as solution. You can ask them to, you can make them face a dilemma online, and they can face those questions and they can respond over there. MCQs, fill in the blanks, matching questions, short answer questions, long answer questions, your quiz again, your all this MCQs, etc. You can have a key over there and it can be corrected online. itself. So you need not sit with pen and paper to assess each and every responses. Setting up frequently asked questions, clarifications of misconceptions, etc. So these are the four quadrants. Ideally, or every course should have all these four quadrants. Only then it will be effective and it will keep the students engaged. These are the video typologies that we, you know, actually types of videos that we are recording in the. I hope the video is visible to you all. This is the ad. Is it, if one of you can respond back, if this is visible? I hope people are there. This is the seed promo video where we record the videos, and I hope it is visible. And this has been recorded at the studio in university itself. This was for the course of Swayam. I'll just run through. This was a musical video for the course on Gandhiji. This is for the mathematics purpose. See, now this method was done, this video was done through a Vicom tablet where the resource person, where the teacher was using a Vicom tablet and everything was visible in the form of a whiteboard to the students. These have been a few videos. Moving on back to our presentation. And one more format was this, where the software was taught using the Excel program. So these are various methods through which your videos can be recorded and various ideas which can be incorporated. This was an interview video which was done. So again, back to my presentation over here. We will continue with the same. So this is the IITV model which has been created for MOOCs. So here what we require is your content, learning dialogues. What is it? What are learning dialogues? Before you come to a class, you always prepare about your chapters. Similarly, before you record a video, you may have a script in front of you, which is played on a teleprompter, where you decide on what is your content and what are you going to speak, what are the questions that you may want to ask your students. Okay, so those are the reflection spots. Reflection spots basically help the learners to think, mostly in social sciences when we teach, we always pose critical thinking questions where where there is nothing right or wrong response, but the student is encouraged to think about what could have been happened, or what are the things that we can do to improve a particular scenario, etc. Then learning by doing. This is an era of actually doing something. Okay, not just going to the classes, sitting over there listening to theory and then writing a theory and forgetting it up after your exam is over, but giving them giving them activities which will help them to retain things for a longer period of time, and that helps in a better learning environment, and providing them customized feedback. So, for example, if you are conducting a quiz or a quiz competition and you ask your students for, you pose them with questions like simply, for example, what is the capital of India? Okay, and the student rather than, and the learner rather than, responding as the correct answer is Delhi, but if he or she responds Mumbai, of course, it is wrong. But why it is wrong? Give them a customized feedback that Mumbai is the financial capital of India, but Delhi is the administrative capital of India. This is the way where actually customized feedback work and learning takes place. Resources plus the assimilation quiz. Providing them with a resource, okay, planning a lesson and asking them to take up a quiz. If they fail in that, they will take up the lesson again. This is how you can make sure whether learning has taken place. Okay, not just like giving them 10 questions, asking them to, that one question will be there from each module, you have to answer only 5. As a student, what we did is out of those 5, we would prepare for the 3, we would forget about the remaining 2. But here, learning extension can help you to pose questions based on that particular topic itself, and it can be graded as per the, the wish of the instructor. Learning experience interaction. Focus questions for discussion. So today at 8 o'clock, we will be discussing on this particular topic. Okay, peer interaction. Like when I said that discussion forum, when a person is posing question, okay, there will be not only you who will be responding in the comment section. There will be many who will respond to that particular query. And with that, you can interact with the peers. Like just to share this, in the one HRDC course that I had attended in the month of October, which was on IKS. Okay, so what we did as an activity was we created an entire glossary. A glossary was a graded activity. Each one of us had to contribute 5 words related to Indian educational system, Indian knowledge system, sorry, and share a meaning in one line for the same. So we were trying to create a glossary of words. Towards the end of the towards the end of the course of 10 days, more than 500 words were contributed in that online dictionary that we had created, a glossary that we had created. So the way people interacted, okay, the learners, they actually, and the learners were faculties like you all, they actually woke up at, the responses were being recorded at 1 a.m. and 2 a.m. Okay, and more and more responses were 5 were compulsory, 5 entries were compulsory, and that was graded. But people eventually ended up contributing more than 150, 200 words itself. So look how they became interested in the activities. Then again, reflection quiz. Not necessary that your quiz may have right or wrong ideas or right or wrong answers. You may ask them with different solutions, etc. Now, this is the weekly template for a MOOC where your week 1, day 1, suppose for example, has a topic on introduction to sets, which is a topic in mathematics. And the video subject matter expert is Dr. Mandar Bhanushe or Professor Mandar Bhanushe, and the PDF will be shared by another person, another teacher. Okay, and the PDF will be provided. There will be the topic on discussion, which is observation of things around us, and the MCQ quiz will be uploaded by another faculty. So it is not necessary that only one person will be doing it. It will be a pool of experts who will be actually contributing to the online course, development of online course. Okay, so your audio, video, animation, simulations, your instructional material, your discussion topic, etc. All the 4 quadrants will be applied to the course itself. Now, what are the stages of development? First thing is plan. What to offer, what you want to offer, how you want to offer. Discuss it with your peers. Discuss it with your subject matter experts. Now, what is the content? Who will do that? What and how you will do that? Okay, how you will gather the information. Now, no one said that in your team you will do it everything by yourself, and it is not closed to your college itself. So, for example, if it is my subject of sociology, I don't have resource persons over here. I feel that my department is not cooperating for that online course. No one is going to stop you to get experts from outside. You may ask people, you may collaborate rather, with college, other colleges someone, your friend who is teaching the same subject in different college, you may come together and develop an online course. Okay. Development, that is assigning jobs to individual teams and monitoring. So if you say that, okay, I may not be able to record a video online, but my friend who is good at recording, that person will record the video. I may provide him with the script. I may provide with the SLM, that is learning material. I may provide with simulations, etc. So this is going to be a teamwork, not just one thing can one person doing all the thing, but rather it is going to be a teamwork. Of course, review, expert views, whatever we create, whatever our creations are, it is always best for us. We feel that isse zyada aur hum kya kare. No, when you show it to your teammates, when you show it to someone who is outside your team, or when you show it to some expert, they will also give certain inputs in it which will be very much useful, and same thing can be revised again. Implementation is necessary, not just planning, keeping it just when you close this session and then you are like, okay, we'll see later on. No, just start putting on your idea, putting the ideas on your pen and paper, and then implement it. That is necessary. Feedback at the end of the course, getting feedback from your students, or at the planning stage itself, getting feedback from your teammates, etc., is important. Your teammates, your subject matter experts, your authorities, and so what does your team comprises of? Your core team of subject matter experts. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 10. No one is going to stop. Okay, there is no limitations on it. You can have 7, 8 subject matter experts for your one particular course. Technical team, of course, to guide, to review, okay, to support and facilitate your online courses. What are the questions that you ask in the analysis step? Okay, what will they learn? Your syllabus framing is important. How elaborate? So when you decide on a course, say for example, a language course, is it going to be basic? Is it going to be advanced? Your technology course, something related to ICT, is it going to be a basic course? Is it going to be advanced course? For whom it is designed? Is it going to be someone for who is a fresher, or someone who already has a basic knowledge in that? How long is that course going to be? What are the number of sessions that you are going to give? All this planning has to be done. Your concepts that you are going to use over there, your facts, your procedures, experiments, history, principles, etc., skills, etc. What questions to ask in the analysis step? How will they learn? Okay, what is your approach going to be towards them? Okay, is it going to be through case studies? Are you going to show demonstrative videos, your discussion videos, or you are going to conduct interviews? Okay, is it going to be through observational learning, concept mapping, interactive exercises will be given to them, multimedia techniques will be used, or simply video lectures will be used? Then how will they access the delivery part, which is very important, which can be done through LMS, okay, email. Now I would say that LMS, actually ideally LMS is important, because all the 4 quadrants has to be covered, and this can be hosted on an LMS system. Now many a times we come across questions from the faculties that, okay, for one topic I have recorded a video lecture and it is uploaded on YouTube. For I have prepared a study material for say for example IDOL, and for a particular institute, and it is given to their students on their website. Now this is my second quadrant. Wrong. This is not your 4 quadrant. Whenever your API course is asking you for 4 quadrant material, it has to be on one single portal, on one single learning system, management system. Okay, learning management system. So your particular topic, on that particular topic, okay, you have to create your video, your learning materials, your references, your discussion forum, your quiz, assessment, etc. And it has to be hosted on one particular system, and not somewhere on different addresses, like one is on Google and one is on YouTube and another one is on Telegram and another one is on Google Classroom. Not like that. It has to be on one particular portal. Now, how do we measure the learning? Okay, how do we take up? How do we take up this evaluation method. So what type are you going to do is up to the teacher's disposal. Like, is it going to be formative? Is it going to be summative? Is it going to be weekly assessment? It is going to, if someone is talking, I request you, I humbly request you to kindly just mute yourself. Then what type of course, what type of assessment, how often is it going to be? Okay. Whether is it going to be weekly assessment, whether your assessment is going to be after every video or after every topic. Okay. What questions to ask in the analysis step? Okay. Again, enabling peer learning, hand holding, conducting tutorial sessions, providing study materials, encouraging self motivation, integrating self assessment. Additional text can also be provided. Syllabus is most important. You need to describe what topics you have to cover. Breaking up those topics, chunking part is necessary. Okay, where we said that it is not necessary that you cover everything. Then the assessment patterns are there, the types of assessment. This part we have already covered. So copyright is a different issue which you can have a different session on it dedicated to it. So with this, I guess people have, hello, am I audible with you all?
Yes, ma'am.
No, because I am hearing many people talking at the same time, so I am getting disturbed in the lecture. So please, those of you can just mute yourself. So now how do we create? I will take 10 minutes more to show you various softwares. Setting your goals, determining the targets for whom your course is going to be. Okay, who is the audience for you, who is going to be the audience for your course? That will be your target. Selecting a proper platform for the same. Okay, that you can discuss with your college itself, or sheet is always there to provide you with the guidance for the same. Bringing in experts, asking experts for their feedback on quality, as well as and also their reach, whether that experts may have another pool of experts. Designing an outline, step number 5 is most important. That structuring your course, assembling information, writing a video script is important. Then recording your video, building evaluation methods, gathering feedback, and reiterating and refining your course again. You may feel that once I record everything and I upload it, no changes can be made. In fact, there is always chance of updating your course and like updating your course and rectifying it again and again. This was my message for you all, that consider the legacy you leave behind. Okay, you may retire, you may end with your learning thing. Okay, but the course that you create, your MOOC, becomes a part of the educational heritage, which impacts not only few generations but many. And you bridge the gaps and empower learners who lack traditional educational courses. Not everyone is so much fortunate to attend online courses online, okay, or to attend everything, come and sit in the classrooms. Like we at Institute of Distance and Open Learning, okay, we have students who have taken up studies after a gap of 5-10 years, or even silver citizens who are above 65 years of age have started coming to the coming to us and asking us whether we can actually participate in the learning process. So now, is this screen visible with you all? This is important, where you will see how you can actually create. If it is not, I'll just, okay. So this is a website called h5p.org, okay, where you create your account, and it is not necessary that most of the language teachers use this, and it is not necessary that you you use it in your online course only, but rather you may have use it in various contexts. So for example, creating your interactive video, your course presentation. Content types can be, if you see your dictation, okay, that can be done. Your documenting tool, drag and drop. Crosswords can be created over here, okay. Essays, fill in the blanks, finding the hotspot. Flashcards, using flashcards is also very much you know uh, popular amongst the students. Finding the words, grid word search game, that can be given to the students as an activity. Why always assessment has to be in the question and answers format? It can be in a gaming format itself, which will keep the students engaged. Guessing the answer, okay, image choice, image hotspots, image pairing, image sequencing, your image sliders, interactive books, QR codes, memory games, multiple choice questions, questionnaires, speak the words set, okay, sorting the paragraphs, creating timelines, true or false questions, your virtual tours, summary, structure, scripts, etc., course presentation, all this can be done online. Now, how to use this tools? You may have a separate session for that. Again, there is one. I would you love teaching you one tool, which is which will be very helpful and interesting for you all, and it will not take much time. I know that you all must be thinking about when the lecture will end, but just give me 2 more minutes. If you see, I'll I'll just show you this. Now, the simplest method, we all come across this most crossword puzzles. We are very much into this, and we take the newspapers and you know, we will be using the doing this crossword puzzle. Just give me 1 second. Okay, so here, if you see, again, please note down this site, that is Crossword Labs. This is very easy. Here you can give your puzzle title. So for example, if I say my puzzle title is going to be India. Okay. Now you don't have to manually create anything over here. What you do is you type your answer with a space. Okay. Your first word will be caught as say for example, Delhi. Okay. And I type it as capital of India. Capital of India. Mumbai. Popular city. Okay. So this will be the clue that will be shown to your learners. If you see below down, I hope it is visible. If you see below, India is your title. You see Mumbai and Delhi have been created into the crossword puzzle itself. So another, if you see Gujarat, say neighbor of Maharashtra, automatically this will be created. Okay, you can create a passcode for the answers. You can share this quiz in a form of link with your students, and then they can take up this activity. Now this can be done in a classroom. This can be graded activity. This is fun. This can help you to engage your students and keep them engaged throughout the lectures. So I hope that this you have noted down this site of Crossword Labs, where you can just, for example, I always use this for those 10 marks. Okay, so 10 marks activity as a crossword puzzle, giving them 20 clues. They will be filling up the crossword over here. Okay, and this will be automatically evaluated. They can see their results if you wish to. They cannot if you don't wish to, but they can always come across this kind of interactive materials, rather than just using the fill in the blanks and match the columns for your exam. So Any questions that you all have, we can take up the questions. Are there any questions that you all have? Hello. Is anyone saying anything? I cannot. Oh. Or you can put it in the chat box. Any queries, any questions related to creating online courses? I guess none of you has any questions or queries. So,
Hello, madam.
yes.
Hello.
Yes.
Yes, I'm Neelima Joshi from Tolani Maritime Institute. My
Hello.
question is, can we create a crossword puzzle for mathematics, and that too for nth order derivative?
Ma'am, yes, there are, in fact, there are many other applications as well. You could have
Okay.
raised this question to our mathematics faculty only, Mandar sir, who teaches mathematics and uses all those, tools for making it more interesting. So they have
Okay.
always used, yes. So you can get in touch with him as well. But there are many applications which you can use, and you can always try this crossword lab today itself
Okay.
after this lecture, and you can give the clue. Just make sure that the first word, whichever you want it to be put in the crossword,
Right.
that doesn't have space in it. Okay, so just like if
So,
I say
ma'am,
the
number
E content.
54 is continuously disturbing. Don't know why. Number 54, please mute yourself. Please, ma'am. Tell.
Yeah, so what I
I
was
cannot
saying
hear
is,
you, ma'am, properly.
hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So
See.
actually,
Yes.
because of the disturbance, even I
Yeah,
am
yeah.
unable to,
Okay.
hear you all.
Yeah, I get you, ma'am. I'll try. Definitely try. Thank you
Okay, you
so much.
please try today and make sure you don't leave space in between for your answer, okay? So your
Okay.
clue has to be separate with a space.
Yes.
So the
Okay.
moment you press the space bar, it becomes a clue, and the
Okay.
first word becomes your answer for the crossword.
Okay. So the way you have written that Gujarat is a neighboring something. So in between you have not kept the space, right?
Correct. Yes. So Gujarat,
Okay.
after Gujarat, I have given a space because
Space.
automatically the entire thing later on becomes a this clue.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Fine. 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 Okay. So that is the way we have to write the, we have to give the clue.
Yes. Correct.
Okay, fine. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Well, so I hope that there are no more. I don't think that there are any more questions. So we may close the session if there are no other questions. Hello. Hello. If you all have any doubts, you might have missed certain things from the slide because of the network connection or anything else. You may ask me to repeat the same, or you may ask me to clear the doubts. I'm ready to do that. And if you all have no queries, then we can close the session. Okay, so we can
सर मुझे रेलवे की टीम पे खेलना है। मुझे रेलवे की टीम पे खेलना
क्या बोल रही
है।
देखो मैं तुम्हारा मैं तुम्हारे क्या
रेलवे
ट्रेनिंग के लिए अब तक रेडी नहीं
रेलवे और नो क्रिकेट
मुझे भी ना कुछ समझ नहीं रेलवे की टीम से खेलना है ये कैसे मुमकिन है रेलवे में कौन काम करता है जैसे काली को रेलवे में काम करती है अब अगर तू और शाम खुशी को बोल लेगा तो कुछ हो सकता बोल ले जैसे कहा मैंने मैंने नहीं कहा बोल ले तो
आपकी जगह ये लगा
तब तो मेरे टी शर्ट वो रहने कुछ इम्पोर्टेंट बात मैंने एक इसी के बाद तो आपको बता रही है ये वो चाबी को तो मुझे ये करता है तुमने भी शुरू कर दी क्या इसके साथ तो फेस टू फेस और वो कौन को तुम्हारे को आजो बात की है तुमने क्या ये शादी के बाद
पूरी करने में हम बड़ी खुशी होती है आप चिंता ना करें मैं उसे अपनी बेटी को कैसे संभालूंगी
मेरी बेटी ने क्या
तो मुझे गोद ले और तुम्हारा मार लिया तेरा ट्रैच नहीं करता है ओके आई डोंट माइंड पर मेरे मोहन हमने के पहले एक अच्छे पति पति ले लो सुरक्षित ना कहीं रहे हैं वो हमें एक साथ सुरक्षित होने को कह रही हूँ बाबा नहीं है मैं उनकी नहीं सोचती और आपने हॉल में